Yeah, no problem. I love giving out key levels. I'm glad it's helping, guys. If you're new, utilize them. All right, guys. I kind of want to jump right into it this morning. As if you're new, it's Lotto Friday. So always a little bit of an um, abbreviated stream on Lotto Fridays, just because it's our day to kind of have fun, go over some charts that I really like that have potential. If you're new, please remember it's Lotto Friday for a reason. Play small, be responsible if you're going to play weeklies. Obviously, the big news this morning, guys, is out of Pfizer. Their COVID pill, very effective. Apparently more effective than Merck's. Travel stocks are ripping this morning, guys. That is going to be my main focus off of this news, guys, is the travel sector. It looks really, really good to me. Airbnb, obviously, strong quarter yesterday reported. One of the names that I'd really like to focus on is not just Airbnb, right? I think that this is going to be a really solid trade over this 192 level. Pre-market highs of 193.92. I think that 192 would be a nice key level break to watch on the upside, guys. But in reality, if we look at the chart on the weekly, guys, Airbnb does have room to 220 if it can get over this 193 level. The spot that I really like on this is, again, 193 over that. I'm going to look at the 200 calls for next week, guys. I am not as concerned about playing weeklies on this. I think that this is actually can be a really nice trade over the next few days, but I think today's going to be a particularly strong day for the travel sector in general. Expedia is up 13%, Airbnb up 5%. Those are some good names to look at. I think a lot of people forget about Expedia, but they had a very, very strong quarter. Clearly shows that people are still using kind of to our younger generation, a more dated method of travel booking, but definitely looking really, really solid. Yeah, the candlestick video is gonna be awesome. But yeah, guys. So Expedia, EXPE. I really like this name over the 181 level. This really has some steam to the upside. Highs of 187, guys. If it can get over all-time highs, you could look at 200 calls for next week. Again, it's weird. I'm looking at 200 calls on Airbnb and 200 calls on Expedia, but yeah, I think both of those look pretty good. I would like to see a really nice push into open. Part of the reason I exited Peloton is it's just kind of a double dose of bad news this morning, right? It's the bad earnings. I really thought we would bounce up to that 69, 68 level, but bad earnings. And then, this whole pandemic is over mantra comes out. That's just, another negative for Peloton. It felt really weak to me on the level 2 and in the tape. And so I just decided to kind of cut my loss, even though it was, 7% loss on, I had a larger position, and that obviously stings, but it really is the next step mentality on that one, guys. And then you have to refocus and realize that there's an opportunity every single day. And even though today is Lotto Friday, I think there's going to be some amazing opportunities out there. I did talk about PFE. If it gets over the 48.3 level, over that 48.3 level, if it can hang up over here, I really think that this will test its highs from when it was running on the vaccine news, which was like the 51.4 level. If we come out to the weekly chart on PFE, I like the $50 calls weekly for a lotto. I think this could see new highs. However, remember, guys, we wicked down pretty hard at that 52 level, so definitely going to be some serious resistance up here in the $50 area, but maybe this is the news that sends it over that, right? So, but obviously, guys, playing small, right? It's Lotto Friday. Another one that you could look at, guys, would be Las Vegas Sands. LVS is one that I will be paying attention to. This is obviously going to benefit off of the travel and recovery names as well. If this gets over 41.7, guys, I really like the potential for the $42 calls here. Definitely on watch for me as well. So those are kind of the names that I want to focus on off of the news this morning. I think this news is going to create a really nice rip in the travel and, kind of, I guess, away from the higher growth like tech names. I think this will bring some volume into the, LVS and Expedias of the world, right? And kind of really give us a nice platform to trade off of. Again, guys, the one thing I try not to do when we get news like this is overcomplicate things. And you kind of want to make sure you have an eye everywhere. So LVS is probably one that not as many people will be looking at. A lot of people are going to focus on Airbnb and Expedia and stuff like that. And I'm not saying those can't be good trades. I just think there's definitely some potential in names like LVS, right? AMC definitely looking good as well, up 4%. Guys, I don't know. I want to trade AMC because I think it has really nice potential over 44. But we've seen some serious wicks in that $44 area, right, guys? If you're not sure what I'm talking about, this will be in the candlestick video, but these big wicks you see when we have these big, right, like these big wicks on these green candles in this price area, that means that we're seeing a lot of selling, right? When we test that area, like people are selling it off hard into those candles. And that's definitely not what you want to see as far as bullish continuation. So I think there's maybe some better opportunities as far as hourly chart setups go. As I mentioned, LVS, Expedia, Airbnb, right? All really solid names to focus on. So, Apple did look strong into the close yesterday. I haven't been trading as many mega caps lately, but over 152, that's kind of I think the break everybody's waiting for, right? Could definitely see that 153 to 155 area. So there you go, 20% on Z. I like it. But yeah, so and again, I will mention Piton. They're down bad, right? Like down 36%. And this is definitely, if you're like long-term on the stack, I had added a starter on a long-term position a while ago. I still need to make a decision on that, but I really thought we would see a bounce in this initial breakout area, right? Like when we really started to run. I think the next support level on Piton is going to be in that 49 range, honestly. I think it might test 50. If it gets down to 50, I think that's probably a pretty solid area to consider taking a position. I thought we would see some support in this range right here, which was our initial support off of, before we started that big massive run last year. I thought we were going to see some pretty strong support in that 59.50 area, if not the $60 psychological level. However, we haven't so far, right? We've kind of blasted through that support at 56. It feels like there's almost no buyers in the tape, which is why I exited. I thought we had seen our bottom yesterday, but obviously I was wrong. I realize I'm wrong, so I cut it, and that's fine. I'm going to live with it. I do want to mention quickly Tesla before we head into the open. Tesla, if it can get over, wow, that's a mess. If Tesla can get over that 1247 level, it has a pretty good chance to go, I think 1250 plus. Very strong last Friday as well, guys. So, obviously just a name that I want to keep on watch always, just because it has been relatively strong lately. But like I mentioned, I think we are going to see a bigger rotation into the, travel and kind of, recovery stocks, quote unquote, right, today. So that's kind of where my eyes are going to be focused. If you weren't here at the beginning of the stream, I mentioned that I'm going to be looking at the Airbnb 200 calls for next week. And I will also be looking at the Expedia 200 calls for next week as well. These will be some of my biggest watches this morning. And then I'll be looking at LVS. I think that you could look at the $42 call weeklies. That is the wrong chart. Don't even know what that is. LVS. There we go. LVS, going to look at the $42 call weeklies. I'd like to see this get over 41.5. But if we look at the daily here, guys, this one is set up for a nice move over this 41.5 level. I think this could see, 43 plus, right? So, BCTX just needs to get over the $10 level. I'm kind of letting that trade work a little bit. It's hanging around in that 10 area right now. It's, somewhat of a smaller float, so I'm trying to let it work a little bit. A break below the hourly breakout. So on the hourly, guys, the breakout was 9.59. If it breaks below that level, then I would be out, because that would be old resistance now turning into resistance again. If this holds, then I'll stay in. So, yeah, Airbnb got a nice upgrade. So that's what I'm going to be looking at on Airbnb is those 200 calls for next week. So I'm going to go ahead and get ready for open, guys. It's Lotto Friday. I always kind of take, today's a good day to kind of blow off some steam, have some fun, play small, play smart, and I will see you guys on the Twitter and Discord later today. Very excited, guys, to do this stream next Tuesday. I really hope a lot of you guys tune in. We're going to be going over how to read candlesticks, what they mean, and yeah, it's going to be awesome. So thank you guys for tuning in. Lotto Friday. Let's have some fun. I'll see you guys on the Twitter and Discord later today. Be well.